Hi, it's me, Ingrid INFP, and I have a cold, and yeah, I see that I look really bad. um, and it's annoying because I actually have been having the best, most chill week at work. I've been having the, like, you know, patient visits, basically like how I usually do at the general care practice that I usually work at, just that I'm working with, people who are more sick. So it's not in the ward and it's not in at the emergencies. It's this third thing. I don't know what it's called. When like people come to visits. That's the kind of work that suits me best. Unfortunately, like I was in Gothenburg last week and I got sick. And yeah, I don't want to be ill because I don't want to have a bunch of sick days, because the place I'm working at now is like basically counting the sick days, and like, I'm worried of getting burnout, like having mental health, needing to take mental health days, and I don't want to be sick physically because that's going to take away from my mental health days. And so I called at 7:30 this morning to tell them I was sick. And today at 10, where I'm making this like a half hour later, at 10, the boss at the internal medicine clinic at the hospital calls me to see if I'm coming tomorrow. And it's like, you're giving me 3 hours. Like, do you think really that I'm going to be less sick 3 hours in than 3 hours ago, I said, I'll call you guys in the afternoon and then we'll discuss if I come tomorrow or not. To be honest, yesterday I was sick already. I actually had been a little bit feeling under the weather all week. But yeah, it's a bit embarrassing because one of the patients actually commented that I was sick. And that's very embarrassing, considering that, healthcare, like, I don't want my patients to get sick. I didn't know that it was that noticeable. And also, like, I do feel guilty about like going to work while sick. So it's like I feel guilty if I don't go to work because I'm treated in this way, where it's like they're hounding on me to contact them all the time to report on the status of my health, but I'm guilty if I go to work. So it's like, and I it's also the healthcare system, the social system here is that you only need a doctor's paper to be sick after 7 days of being sick. But also, the first day when you're sick, you actually don't receive any compensation for that day, and you have to actually pay, so because of taxes and stuff, like, so the first day of being ill, you don't get any, like, you basically lose money. You're not even, you're just losing money. Day 2, day 3, day 4, you get like a certain percentage of your salary, like I think it's 80% for those days, that first week. But on the first day, I'm just losing money here. And so yeah, I understand why people come to work sick. I understand why. Yeah, and at the same time, I also understand why people decide to be sick for a longer period of time, because they get money for that. So I wish that, that it was acceptable to take 1 day off as a sick leave, and that's it. Because now it's like, well, sunk cost fallacy. I kind of want to be sick a day more because I feel like I'm just being harassed for being sick one day. You know, and that's not how illness works. You know, during COVID, they actually gave you a certain like sum of money. I think that they gave you like taxed, obviously. So the certain sum of money ended up being 500 crowns, which is $50 for a day that you are sick. So at least you weren't losing money. But you know, I wish that like I understand that they don't want people to just claim that they're sick all the time. But it makes life difficult to have it in this way. So yeah, sorry for this ramble about sick days and leave and stuff. You know, I really don't want to go into burnout, but if I do, I think that I will need to take sick leave. And a lot of people are going to be mad at me for that. And like, that's not the point. The point is, if I take sick leave, is that I want to be resting and recuperating so that I can work better later. And you know, now like I have all this eczema by my nose and stuff, it's like I'm not presentable to you know, my voice, I can hear it as well, that I'm not fit for work with sick people right now. You know, and the fact that I'm even considering going to work tomorrow is a sign that, you know, capitalism, my productivity and all of that has gone to my head. Like it affects me, it toys with my emotions and everything, and it's like, why? Why am I putting myself through all this hell when I could just like, okay, call in sick and be sick and recuperate? So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing now. Sorry for this dud of a video, but I think it's worth actually complaining about. And I know that you guys in the US don't get any kind of sick leave, pretty much, depending on your the work situation and stuff, but most of you guys don't have sick leave, it seems. We do, but it's kind of a flawed system in itself. And yeah, I think that other people don't overthink it as much as I do. I don't know why I overthink it, but I guess it's because I overthink everything in my life. So yeah, I don't know. Have a great day. If you're ill, take care of yourself.